Gurley, my goodness.
Here comes a man right in the MVP race.
A matchup nightmare for any defense.
Nobody make God.
Gurley to 20. Goes over the top. Reach it in. Touchdown LA. Gurley hits the jet midfield. Gurley for MVP.
This guy has a nose for the goal line.
This is the Todd Gurley we've been waiting to see, putting his offense on his back, starting to grow up right in front of our eyes.
Our next guest led the NFL with 19 touchdowns this season, and he was named the DraftKings MVP. Todd Gurley, welcome back to Undisputed.
How y'all doing?
Wow.
Very good. Lots to talk about, but first, tell us what you're doing with DraftKings.
Right now, I'm just presenting my awards. I won Mr. Consistency, MVP, Most Improved, and Best Single Game Performance. And then they also have a new product for Super Bowl. It's called Showdown. It's the first time ever they're doing it. Where you can pick 6 players from each team, 4 on offense, 2 on defense, and unlike, the whole season, you watch every game, you just watch this one game. So it'll be a cool thing to do for the Super Bowl.
Did you win that award for the outstanding performance against the Cowboys?
Nah, not the Cowboys.
But you got a good award against.
By the way, I'm glad you brought that up because
helped
I
me.
wanted to tell this man I did not appreciate the 53-yard catch and run that you stuck down our throats in the second half at Jerry World that turned the tide in that game that we led at halftime 24-13, and all of a sudden it was 26-24 because of him.
You got to blame Kareem Hunt for that. Man. I seen that play, and I was like,
Did you?
I need that.
You got
coach.
that? But, of course, there was no Sean Lee at linebacker, so you just abused who was out there. I don't even know who was out there.
You know.
It's pretty easy, right?
Yes,
just
sir.
opened up like the Red Sea, and you just...
He said it would have made a difference if Sean Lee, Michelle Lee, Spike Lee.
Don't matter, huh?
Yeah, it wouldn't matter.
So, about a year ago, you sat right in the same seat. Things weren't going that great for you. Kind of been hit and miss, and then all of a sudden, things changed. You obviously had one big change, coaches. But what changed for you from that point to this point?
Obviously, we added some new pieces to the offense, but, just having the year that we had last year, we didn't want to have that again. So just locked in last offseason, just worked super hard.
Change things? Change your
Diet,
regimen?
any training program?
Not diet, but just training. As far as training, I just tried everything. I did the speed, I did the agility, I did the hills, I did the sand. I did Pilates, I did yoga. I was just trying all different types of stuff, but just making sure I was, just
Did it
trying
work?
to work.
Well,
Yeah, I mean.
What about the differences? You had Jeff Fisher for 2 years. Sean McVay comes in, you win your division, you make the playoffs. What's the difference between these two coaches?
Coach McVay, he's just such a offensive-minded coach. He's just he's a smart guy. He just knows offenses, he knows defenses, and just how he changed the whole offense around. Obviously last year we were, last in offense, and this year we were number 1. So for a coach to come in and do that, and we knew we still had it in us, but if you don't do it, you don't know. So for him to come in and just put all those tools and weapons together, it was crazy.
so philosophically, it was very different under this coach versus your previous coach?
You could say that. It was just,
Well, you said the old offense was high schoolish. That's what you said. I don't know who said it, but Todd.
we were playing like one. We were playing like one, and we wasn't playing good, and it was just a rough game after that game. I said some words, but man, it came a long way for sure from last year to this year, and we're just happy to get better this year.
You said after the last game of the season, would you have wanted to win that rushing title?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, me and Hunt, we had a conversation. We was talking about it. I'm like, man, congrats. But, we all wanted it. Most definitely for sure. Because, that's what you dream of. That's what you work hard every day in the off season to accomplish goals like that. But it's all good. It's all good.
You get them this year, huh?
Yeah, it's all good.
So you exploded in your last 5 games in your combined yards from scrimmage. Can you make a case that you should win the MVP?
It's not really a case. It's just, it is what it is. You go out there and you put the numbers up or you don't. So, and just kind of let the writers or the fans vote on that and, just let the rest handle itself.
You believe you deserve it?
Yeah, most definitely. I felt like, You know, I worked hard this season. My teammates helped me get it. And obviously we made big improvements. I don't know if, you know, what factors in the MVP, but I felt like, you know, me and my teammates, we worked hard to push me to get there, and we accomplished a lot.
You realize you're now in the same breath with that quarterback up in Foxborough now?
Yeah, I know.
And it's going to come down to you two.
Yeah.
And it's you versus Tom Brady, which is pretty cool, right?
And he's always winning, huh?
I don't know. I don't know. There's still some resentment of him. I don't know. I think a lot of voters will say, he's had enough. He's had a great enough run, right? And you were like fantasy football heaven. You won a lot of leagues for a lot of fantasy players, right?
Yes, I got some more fans out there.
I don't know do they have MVP votes? I'm not sure. If they do, I think you're good.
Yeah. If they do, I definitely should be good.
I think Pepsi do a fan vote for MVP. But what's with you is jumping? Why you always were you a hurdler in high school?
Yeah, I did the hurdles in high school.
Okay, because you be hurdling everybody.
I don't know why I do it, man. It's just like even after the play, I'd come over to the sideline and be like, man, why did I just do that? It's just first thing that comes.
Well, does it benefit or not, or is it too dangerous?
I mean, one day it's probably gonna end bad, but until then, I'm keep jumping. But
because you see the guy going low and then.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's more DBs. Most DBs are not gonna hit a running back high, especially if they're going 100 miles per hour fast at them. So it's just kind of reaction, and for the most part, it's been working.
So you saw the Philadelphia Eagles up close and personal. It's your place. What shot do you give them against Brady and Belichick?
I give those guys a great shot. I have a great defense. The DBs are playing incredible, and they have Fletcher Cox. He's wrecking havoc. And then, like, you got Chris Long, guys that's coming in there and just making plays at the right time. And, their offense is incredible. They got two great running backs. They got Nick Foles. He's playing good. He's always been able to play good as someone who's come in, when some of us get hurt. So I think they can. Definitely think they can do it. I definitely think.
Is that the toughest defense you faced?
No, Minnesota.
Minnesota. You had a hard time out there.
Oh man, yeah. Real hard time. Real hard time.
But Nick Foles did not have a hard time against him at his place.
Yeah. No, he didn't. So I think they can do it, man. I think the Eagles can do it.
As you sit back and you went to the Pro Bowl last week, but the Pro Bowl is nice, but that's not the game you really want to play in. You want to be playing on this Sunday. What do you and the Rams need to do to make sure in 2019 your guys in Atlanta getting ready for the Super Bowl?
Just lock in. Lock in. Obviously, to be able, you got to have a little luck on your side with injuries and all that, but just lock in, and next playoffs, we know what they expect. We know the atmosphere, but we know the expectation that we want, and we don't want to be able to lose again in the first round next year or whatever that case is. So just come in with that hungry mindset and just have that one goal, not to be playing in February.
So, as Shannon points out, you did play in the Pro Bowl, and as I recall, I think you got the first carry of the game, right? When it called to you? I think it was. So, what can we do to improve this game? Did they try to tackle you?
It was a good game. You didn't think it was a good game?
I watched the whole thing.
We let them come back and all, man. It was crazy.
Did anybody hit you half hard? Did they? How were they tackling you? Were they?
No, they were trying to strip the ball off for sure.
But
once that fourth quarter,
it looked like there was more wrestling than tackling.
Once the fourth quarter came and that money was on the line, they was out there hitting Deion Jones, Quan, everybody. They was out there.
That's normally how it happens. The fourth quarter rolls around, and then you're not supposed to blitz, you're not supposed to stunt, you're not supposed to do a lot of things, but that money.
Then we got Vaughn cheating, just getting off the ball. It's all good though.
Well, Todd, thanks so much for joining us. Congrats on a great season.
Thank you.
And
Good luck.
with MVP. Before we go, let's check out the award that you got from DraftKings.
Appreciate you.
You definitely made a lot of fantasy players happy this year.
He won that week against the Cowboys for sure.
We'll be right back.